Light is the reason that we can see everything we see right now. But what if I tell you that our consciousness works the same way? More about that in a minute. So without further ado, let's go. It is a fact that we know that the reason we can see things is because of light. Without light, we cannot see anything at all. It would be pitch black. Our consciousness is like light. Without it, we cannot even have a meaningful experience. But before we dive deep into it, we have to ask this question. What does consciousness mean? Or rather, a more straightforward question is, what is consciousness? The root word for consciousness is conscious, and depending on profession, different people have different view of what being conscious means. In the medical and healthcare field, being conscious means a person is awake and responsive to outside stimuli. And in philosophy, being conscious means a person is aware of their own existence and individuality. And in psychology, being conscious means you are quite aware with your psychological status and you are aware with all of your behaviors and unconscious patterns. But in this video, we are not talking about consciousness in these concepts. We are talking about something more fundamental. And you can also say that it is the origin of our experience, which is the awareness, which aware with everything that we are experiencing right now. So, why our consciousness is actually light? Try imagine this. If you are really not aware about anything, anything, can you ever have an experience? I don't think so, right? And let's go back to the light metaphor. Let's just say if you can see something, it is light. And if you cannot see the things that is happening, that means darkness, right? And now imagine a person that is raised in poverty since they are young. Of course, they won't know how feels rich is like, right? So being abundant to them is an uncharted territory, darkness. However, poverty to them is just their daily life. They know too well how it feels, so it feels like a spotlight, highlighting their experiences of poverty. The same also can be said for wealthy people because for them, they have always been in abundance. So for them, abundance is natural, so it is like a spotlight in their experiences. And of course, they cannot imagine how is it like to be poor. That is why darkness, uncharted territory in that area. So did you see what I mean by consciousness is like light? Because everybody has their own experiences, highlighted ones in their point of view. And their experiences shape their perceptions towards things and life itself. And these perceptions will act as filters, further perpetuating their experiences. And that is the reason why people develop different perspective and perceive the so-called same situation differently, and taking measures depending on how they view or relate to things. And this is what spirituality means by saying your perspective determines your reality. Now you have heard me saying consciousness works like light, illuminating and focused on our experience. So what does it have to do with mastering ourselves, right? Imagine this. You are in a mountainside with everything all around you, the mountains and stuff. But without light, not even starlight, moonlight, just pure darkness. Can you really see anything? No, right? Now imagine, suddenly there is a surge of light. Everything around you is filled with light. Now suddenly you can see everything, right? And yeah, that is consciousness in action. With consciousness, you are suddenly conscious about the things all around you. Therefore, it has a illuminative properties within it. With the same scenery, imagine you use a colored filter to observe and see the whole scenery. The whole scenery changes, right? For better or for worse. It depends on what kind of lens you are using, right? The same thing also applies with our life and our human consciousness. If you're aware of something, it is like light focusing on the things that you may want it or not want it to happen. And others may or may not see or even share a sentiment because it is something they are not familiar with. Darkness. Now you can see the situation happen in your life, a picture. Then you can choose what kind of lens or filter you want to use to see this picture. You can use a cruel and grotesque filter to see this picture. Your perception of this world being cruel and grotesque place will definitely distort the picture. And people who choose a loving and positive filter, i.e. positive perceptions, will see a different picture from you. Or even better, you can look at the picture without any filter at all. That means you look at the situation as it is, without any imagination or even projections towards it. Same picture, different perceptions, different situations in different people's eye, creating different realities for them. That is why they always say, your perceptions create your reality. So with all of this said, what is the takeaway for this video? The takeaway is this. Don't be afraid and hate every situation in your life, especially those unpleasant ones. Why? Because without you, the awareness who is aware of everything, that is watching everything, they cannot exist. They need your awareness to survive, to be experienced. And you have every power to navigate the situation, i.e., look at a picture with your free will, your own discretion. And that is a gift that the Source gives to us. And that is why Gnosticism put a lot of emphasis on human being comes from the light realm, because we can use our awareness to see and experience everything. And we can also choose to experience it positively or negatively. It's all our choice. Therefore, I would say to you, do not afraid and do not hate any situations that happen in your life, as sometimes, depends on how you use it, could be your greatest gift. So yeah, once again, this is Spirituality for Dummies, the place we master and transform ourselves. Please like, share and subscribe. Especially share this video to those people that think that they are powerless, to tell them they are actually more powerful than they imagine. Till next time, bye bye.